Yasu Malagedo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, Part 49.
He methodically carried out what was clearly pre-planned crimes with the sole purpose of satisfying his deviant sexual desire.
A construction worker from Pennsylvania, he's accused of drugging and raping women, targeting them using a website promising women a sugar daddy. And the DA believes there are more victims out there.
This is a woman's worst nightmare, a young woman's worst nightmare.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. When the DA in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, calls this case and the allegations being made against Andrew Gallo a woman's worst nightmare, she is 100% right. The allegations in this case are terrifying. Andrew Gallo lived outside of Philadelphia. District Attorney Jen Shorn says Gallo was meeting women on a site called SugarDaddyMeet.com and inviting them to his house to drug and rape them. You might be asking yourself, what's SugarDaddyMeet.com? Never heard of that one? I hadn't heard of it either until reading about this case. The site bills itself as a sugar daddy dating website. SugarDaddyMeet.com claims it has 8.2 million selective members. It asks a question to men. Are you a successful, generous man looking for an honest relationship? And to women, are you an attractive, classy woman looking for a mentor? The site also says it's a location for generous men and attractive women looking to form honest relationships. But the DA says these were not honest relationships. DA Shorn says Andrew Gallo started contacting women on Sugar Daddy Meet in June of 2023, and the women would go to his house for dates. An affidavit says victim 1 went to Gallo's house in Levittown last Christmas Eve. The affidavit says CV1, that's how she's identified, states that when she got to Gallo's residence, it was only her, Gallo, and his dog there. CV1 reported that Gallo made her a drink in the kitchen, which she did not witness him making, and she was playing with the dog. CV1 then advises that she does not drink often, so she was unsure what type of drink he made, but described the drink as having a sugar rim. The woman, according to the affidavit, said she didn't sleep that night, and she felt both energetic and cool. She also said that she and Gallo had sex, and that he choked her so much that her airflow was restricted, and she had to tell him to stop. She then took a drug test for a job she was applying for, and it came up positive for both meth and cocaine. Here's the DA on more of what happened to this woman and other victims.
He ultimately raped 5 of the 6 victims. While sexually assaulting those 6 victims, he also physically assaulted those victims. He used such force in strangling his victims that some lost consciousness. These victims suffered such ill effects from the drugs that they unknowingly ingested that some reported being up for days. One said she was up for 7 straight days, unable to fall asleep. A number of them sought medical attention due to the severity of the side effects of the drugs that they unknowingly ingested. Some reported experiencing hallucinations and psychosis.
I'll have more on the drugs that the DA says police found in Gallo's home, but she said last month police actually went to Gallo's home with a search warrant and caught him in the act.
They executed a search warrant not too long ago, and clearly the defendant was unaware that they would be arriving at his home. And not only did they find an open bottle of alcohol that contained methamphetamine mixed within, but they actually found a victim being victimized when they arrived. Their work is not done, though, because we are quite confident that there are more victims in this case.
Can you imagine? That woman is incredibly lucky that police arrived when they did. Another woman, identified as CV2 in the affidavit, described Gallo giving her a glass of wine in the summer of 2023. And about 45 minutes later, she said she felt like all of her inhibitions were gone and that she was aroused. CV2, according to the document, said Gallo asked her to put on lingerie that he had bought for his ex-girlfriend and that he introduced sex toys into their encounter. The document said CV2 later asked Gallo if he had drugged her. because she hadn't felt that way in the past after drinking wine. The woman told police that Gallo said he had forgotten that he had put Molly in the bottle of wine.
Methamphetamine was one of the substances found in his home in that open bottle of tainted liquor. We do believe, though, other substances such as MDMA, often referred to as Molly, and other substances were perhaps administered to these victims. And, obviously this investigation is still unfolding as it relates to that.
Now, CV2 said she went camping with Gallo in October of last year. The police officer wrote in the affidavit, he tried to choke her while they were having sex, placing his hand around her throat and squeezing, trying to make her pass out. CV2 stated she tried to fight against the choking, telling Gallo she was scared to pass out and did not want to be choked. The officer said Gallo told the woman that's how it works and that she was supposed to pass out because that was the fun in it.
Wow. Wow. Okay, there's a lot to cover here. Okay. Well, first off, let's start with the obvious. I hate camping. Okay. I don't understand camping. So to me, that's a huge red flag. Okay. We've evolved as a society where we can sleep inside now. I don't have to go outside and, fight, bears, for my food, unless I'm doing a security job at Church Street in Toronto. But, it's just not worth it. But in all seriousness, guys, this is just a fucking crazy story. I mean, he accidentally put the Molly in the drink, really? That's your defense? Whoa, there goes flying in the air. Boop, come on. Really? Come on, man. I'll say something else too, man. The last few months here, I don't know, Gallo, I don't know, the one guy that killed the dude on the street there, I don't know, the Italian director fighting with Deadpool's wife. I mean, this is not a good look for my people the last few months. I'm half Greek, but I'm half Italian too, and it's this is not good. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, the whole online dating thing is fucked. But some guys don't even want to scam girls, through online dating apps. They set up their own websites here, and 8.2 million. That's fucking bullshit. I mean, and again, ladies, and this goes for guys as well, obviously. First of all, if you've never seen a movie called Mr. Goodbar, especially if you're a woman on OnlyFans, see that movie right away, okay? Because it's there's nothing good about the movie, but it does give you an awakening of, what can happen if you're not careful. And two, do not go to a stranger's house for the first time if you've never met them. That's a golden rule, man. I mean, I don't give a shit what they offer you, fame and fortune. And if you stick with me, kid, you'll go places. And, all that bullshit. Just don't fucking do it. Okay? Again, the online world is a very scary thing. Okay? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I like to meet people in public and know who I'm talking to. I always like to talk to people on the phone first before I meet them. And, kind of establish, if they're normal or not, then holy shit. But sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you don't even have to talk to someone on the phone. I mean, sometimes you do. Well, in this case, I did, and it was, holy shit. But anyways, so I talked to this one woman, okay? She seemed all right. I could tell she's been through a lot in her past. And again, if I had $1 for every time I said that about a woman I've talked to online, holy fuck. I would just, I would just pull a Marlon Brando and just buy my own island and get a bunch of, Tahiti girls and whatever and just go nuts. But, what are you going to do? Instead, I'm staying here, Yeah, I feel like fucking Apocalypse Now here, just fucking laying on the floor. The horror. Boy, those acting classes really paid off at Second City. The point is, just talking to her. She's, telling me she's been through a divorce, and since COVID, she's had to move back to her parents' house, and she's got 3 kids, and I don't know. I think, she's, talking. I'm talking to her on the phone at this point, because, why not? I like a challenge. And, she's puffing away there on cigarettes, just one after another. Holy shit. I mean, Jesus. I recently just quit smoking, just this last Christmas Day, 2024. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There's some days I do miss it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to end up with a stroke. If I do end up getting a stroke one day, it's gonna be from eating too many burgers. So that's the way I want to go out. But in the meantime, I will try to stop smoking and put up with crazy shit like this. Now, talking to her, things to be it's okay. I mean, I could tell a little frustration there. I don't want to talk to, like, here's my thing too. I don't know if I ever talk about this, but I like to talk to a woman, for a little bit on the phone, not that long. I've done that. I've done, hours on the phone. I'll be honest with you, I don't do that shit anymore. I don't. I'm talking about when I first or haven't met the woman yet. That's just to establish if, she's real and not AI. I honestly, I tend to say something stupid, or if it drags on too much, then I don't know, maybe get to know too much about the person. And I don't know, in some cases that could be pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. But in the end, just keep it short and sweet. Ask some key questions, and that's it. Establish something there, there's some kind of, normality, if that's a word, and, hopefully go on a date. So I did that with her, and it seemed all right. I was trying to figure out what day we can see whatever, each other, we'll figure something out. But then I'm talking to her at one point, and, I can, like I said, I can feel the anger already. I mean, there's a lot of frustration there. You can feel it's built up there, and she's like, I got a good job doing this and that, blah, 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 and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sure you do, but I can, yeah, like, I already have that feeling that her coworkers don't like her, you know what I mean? Because I'm not saying I don't like her, but I could see myself in the future not liking her. And I mean, sometimes you see steps ahead, and you're like, once again, you like the challenge. So, she told me that she was fighting with somebody at work, and or she got sent home, whatever. I'm like, what happened? And she's like, this girl tried bullying me at work, and I didn't lay down. Can you call me? And I could tell she's already going to be one of these people where, and again, I'm not trying to sound like a dick or nothing, but keep in mind, I've never even met this person, and she already wants me to be her therapist. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have that person in our lives where they clearly cannot take, life well. I mean, maybe they act, a little tough sometimes, or for the most part, they always need someone there to talk to them and comfort them. And holy fuck, Jesus. And especially if you're in a relationship, it's a turnoff. Like I've been out with women that like I feel like a fucking babysitter. I mean, they'll just, come in the door crying about their problems. And again, I'm not trying to sound like a dick or nothing. And it's just like, come on, man. Come on. I wouldn't do that to you. Don't do that to me. I'm not trying to not be sympathetic here, but come on. So of course I absolutely don't want to talk to her, because I know this is going to turn into like a whole fucking thing. And I mean, knowing my luck, I'm probably going to talk to her for an hour and not end up meeting her. But that's I mean, guys, listen, again, I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, but guys, holler if you hear me. But anyways, and I even texted her back. I'm like, really? And I told her I'm on the on the bus on the way to work, and of course that was bullshit, but I just knew this was not gonna be good. So she just starts texting me, which I figured she would, and she's like, this girl that we work with is such a fucking bully, and she started coming at me, and I didn't lay down this time. I'm tired of always being cordial. She's rude to everybody, and the shit that she says, and then reports everybody for nothing. and my Italian temper came out. Forgot to mention she's a fellow Italian, which again I did not plan this. Which the references I did before there. So again, this has been a very challenging few months for my nationality. And again, yeah, I've said this before. We have, I don't know, something in us, man. I don't know what it is with Italians. Like we're all, fired up. I don't know if it's all the sugar and carbs, but it's in there, And again, I don't know what the other person did to her, but even you get that sense on the phone. She's not the most pleasant person to be around. Yeah, you get that feeling. I'm used to the whole Italian attitude. I get it. I've been out with a few Italian women. I understand what it comes with. I really do. I really do. You hope in the end the sex and the cooking kind of balances all the fights you have, but you try your best. So I'm trying to be as sympathetic as possible. And I tried to make light of it. I even said to her, I said, did you get sent home with pay? And she's like, yeah, with pay. She's like, I don't report people. I deal with things face to face. Blah blah blah. Usually it's a very cordial manner, but this bitch, I made her cry. I said, go ahead and report me because I have a long ass lift to throw back at them about you. I think she meant list, but she's rolling. As I was walking out, a bunch of people were giving me the thumbs up because everybody's scared to talk back to this woman. So I'm like, okay, no worries. Just I'm just picturing this in my head. I'm just picturing her I think she said she worked at as a nurse or something. And if you know anything about Toronto, Ontario, Canada, I've always said this: like Filipinos to Canada is like Mexicans to America. I mean, it's just they're basically the backbone of this country. I mean, they help with a lot of resources, nursing jobs, private. Tutors and babysitters, all that shit, whatever. So I'm just picturing this, she's not like a big white girl, she's full figure. She looks good. If anything, the irony is she has a name and like the look in her hair. I thought she was fucking Irish, but whatever. I'm Italian. I'm down for that too. But the point is, I just picture her like just overtowering, all these, other Filipinas, and everyone probably knows she probably is a bitch. And as she's walking out, she's getting, high fives and thumbs up. And, there you go. It's like a fucking scene out of an 80s movie where the guy stands up to the bully and just, yeah, you can do it, buddy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right on. Groovy, man. And, yeah, I haven't had a cigarette in 3 months and still this, huh? Okay. The point is, I don't know what she's going through, so I'm still concerned. But at the same time, I know if I, talk to her on the phone, it's going to be a whole fucking thing, and I'm not getting paid to be Dr. Phil here. Not yet, anyway. But then, I'm like, just, go home, breathe, calm down, relax, woosah, all that fucking shit. Yeah, woosah, worked for Will Smith, that fucking jerk off. But yeah, she said, I'm sitting at a lake with my coffee, my happy place. Okay, that's cool. Everybody needs a happy place, Happy Gilmore, remember his happy place? Yeah. I like the midget, going by on the bike there. I know you can't say midget anymore, but fuck you. The point is, she's just trying to relax, and everything seems to be okay, and she even said at one point, she said, like, I'm actually shaking. I wouldn't make it home. LOL. I'm sure she meant to say, like, I wasn't sure if I'd make it home, but I get it. I speak Italian. I'm like, okay, seriously, that doesn't sound funny, because she's laughing at it after. So maybe she's just like kind of nervous laughing, whatever, She's like, I'll be good. I've learned to meditate and calm myself down. I'm like, okay, I've grown a lot in the last 3 years. I've worked through childhood trauma. We are a little fucked up. It's okay. And you know, I'm like, I told her straight up. I mean, she's pretty honest. I'm pretty honest too. And at this point in my life, in my 40s, I just don't care anymore. And I said, okay, once again, a little too much information, but okay, And she's like, what's too much info? And I go, what you literally just told me, LOL. Well, I didn't tell you what happened, LOL. That would be too much info, LOL. And I'm like, even still, And she's like, LOL, okay, I won't talk anymore, And then I text her back, yeah, that's possible, and I'll stop eating. So I'm not gonna lie to you, it pretty much went downhill from there. But the point is, like we all got our problems, okay? We all go through our things, but at the same time, again, I never even met this person, and she's telling me all this. I get it. A lot of people out there online, or just in general, they're open books. They'll say anything to anyone. It doesn't matter. But keep in mind, a lot of people, I'm not saying I'm not built to take a lot of this because, I'm on episode 49 and I should be used to this shit. 50, that'll be anniversary. All right. But the point is, in general, if you're doing the whole online thing, maybe you don't want to say this much this fast and, ease people into it, or maybe save all this for, the in-person chat. And then from there, they can, figure out an escape route. I've tried to do that many times on dates. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there was one date, I literally wanted to jump out of the car. Like, I mean, I grew up in, the 80s, 90s with all those action flicks. And I'm like, as long as I'm a bigger guy, you can, I don't know, kind of tuck and roll. I think I'll be okay. She's not driving that fast. I mean, it's But the point is, just try not to give that much information that quickly. Try to ease the person into a conversation, a decent one, and try to be normal. I don't know what normal is anymore. Like I said, I'm on episode 49. I'm fucking lost. But the point is, try not to give that much information that quickly. Get to know someone. Have a normal chat. If it happens, if it grows naturally, that conversation, cool. If not, then take it easy. No rush. Take your time. Go to therapy. Then figure out some shit. But not everyone needs the therapy. I shouldn't joke about that. Blah blah blah. I know. The point is, just figure out how to ease people into these insane situations. That is your life, and just take your time. And I think I mentioned this before. If things don't go well, once we have start texting and a phone call, please don't put your daughter on the phone and have her argue with me, because I think I mentioned this before. I talked to a woman once, and then all of a sudden her voice changed. It went really low, and I was like, the fuck? I mean, did she shrink or something? And yeah, she put her daughter on. I said, this is her daughter. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking to you for? I don't, yeah. So I don't know, it's weird. It's like, I don't know, it's like fucking Austin Powers, Dr. Evil mini-me shit. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird. So again, I'm sure it doesn't show any, insecurity by the parent. But the point is, oh, Jesus, honestly, after that, I don't think some kids just, have a chance in the world. But, I feel sorry for them, and my God, it's just, parents, you gotta grow up. Huh? I mean, again, I don't have kids, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna say I don't understand. Believe me, I do. That's why I don't have kids, okay? Don't be jealous because, I'm free to do what I want and I'm happy. Now, you have to fight your own battles, okay? Don't put your kid on the phone who, once again, I've never met any of your family members. This isn't, a family barbecue where I get to talk to everybody and, find out what, you're all about. So, my God, grow up, please. Now, I like to end this podcast with one more story, but it's an interesting story, I feel, in the sense that I met this woman a long time ago online. And to be honest with you, when I started talking to her, I mean, back in the day, I would have for sure thought it was a scam. If anything, I still thought it was a scam. I mean, if this happened today, for sure, I wouldn't even bother talking to her. But, when you're younger, you're not, if you're a guy, you're not thinking with the head between your shoulders here, and you're just like, whatever happens, happens. So I ended up talking to this girl, and, she was a knockout, absolute knockout. I mean, like, you see us together, it is King of Queens 2.0. I mean, it just didn't make sense. It did not make sense. I mean, she looked like if, remember the movie Species with Natasha Henstridge, had a kid with Claire Danes. That's how beautiful this woman was. She still is, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. But yeah, she, she's been through a lot with guys as well. Guys mistreating her ex, is not really in the picture. She's got 2 kids, and she even told me at one point, to give you an idea how beautiful, she is. Back in the day, she told me that she got offered a contract to go to Paris to be a model. Okay, for I think like 6 months or some shit like that. And you understand, I know dick all about modeling, clearly, but if you get an offer like that, it is, I mean, it's like winning the lottery. It's like being an actor and you're in a big studio movie. Here's your chance. You made it. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. So, but she got pregnant and she had to turn it down, unfortunately. I always had a feeling, and I'm not saying this to rub it in or nothing, I always had a feeling that she regretted doing that, not regretting having her kid, obviously, but just regretting that opportunity, because, I mean, even in my head, I'm like, holy fuck, I can't believe you turned it down. Like, I don't want to tell her that, but, I'm like, wow, really? Like, that's crazy and all that, and, we eventually went on we actually went on a real date. And I say real date because we kind of met up a little bit before then, nothing, talked a little bit, whatever. But this one was a real date. We, went out to dinner, all that. And, she was really nice. I mean, she looked beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'll give you an idea how beautiful she was. We're on the subway, because neither of us could, afford to drive a car. It's a TTC, Toronto, you do what you got to do. So at one point, I'm on the subway with her. I'm sitting next to her, one of the 2 seats together there. I have my arm around her, and every guy, I mean, literally every guy on the subway is looking at us. Probably looking at me going like, is this a joke? Like, is this real, really? I mean, like, is she your sister? And then another time, again, we always went on a few times, whatever. I guess it was after that as friends, whatever. But, nothing really happened. It was kind of like an off and on thing. It's hard to explain. Like, she didn't, really want to commit to anything to me. And I don't know, me and I was in my own little world. I was like, whatever, we'll go out, But then again, we go out to a bar, and then, like, guys would constantly hit on her, and one guy would just blatantly would not, like, take no for an answer with her, and, and he kept bugging me. He's like, you're not seeing her, right? You're not seeing her, right? And move the chair closer to her. And I mean, you could tell, like, if I wasn't there, it would have been just a swarm of guys just around her, and it was, and not that I was like going stay away from her, whatever. I'm like, do what you got to do, but whatever, you try to be a gentleman. But anyways, we the one time that we went out for dinner, and I told her at the time I wanted to be sort of an actor, but I don't know. Again, guys, that's a story for another time. That's there's lots to say about that one, but long story short, especially after the Will Smith thing, I'm not interested in that world anymore. You know, I still enjoy doing the podcast and voiceover shit like that, but the odd time. But that's it. I live a very simple life. But we were walking down the street one day, and she saw like a limousine go by, and she goes, "That's going to be you in there one day." And in my head, I'm like, she is, very beautiful, but insane. But it was nice she said that. And afterwards we made out a little bit. But didn't really lead to anything after. I mean, she slept over one day and, we kind of little bit fool around, but not really, you know what I mean? Nothing really crazy. I mean, we never had sex, nothing like that. And, I told her at one point I did, really like her. She really liked me. And then it just never, I don't know, it never gelled. You know what I mean? And even one time I had a party and she brought over a guy, and it was weird because she sat across from me with the guy, and the guy would be talking, and he put his arm around her, and she'd look at me and oh, awkward. Well, I don't know if she's doing that to make me feel better or she really felt that way. And then she told me a story how the guy was literally peeking in her window one day, and it was a whole stalker thing. And it's just, she's not had the best luck with dudes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then, I don't know, we lost touch for a while there. She was friends with my ex for a little bit. And then, I don't know, I don't think that worked out. And then she wanted to go with the guy who my ex, dude, this is almost like I don't know, it almost felt like a John Hughes movie at one point. Like, the girl I was going out with had a friend. I mean, this guy was fucking mental. I mean, he would tell me, he would buy fleshlights. And one time I had a party, he showed up to my house on a bike. He was drenched in sweat, and he had no choice but to take a shower because he biked for 2 hours to get here. And I know the guy was a fucking mess. But anyways, I'll tell that whole story one day. But the point is, I think he tried to go out with her, and I think the girlfriend that I was with, she was like, "Yes, so you're trying to make me jealous." And it was just a whole weird thing. I don't know, but I talked to her, nothing happened, whatever. But we kind of lost touch a little bit for a while, and I saw her on Facebook there. I wanted to catch up for a little bit, and it got to a point where in my life where I just don't care anymore, in the sense that I'm telling people how I really feel about them, what they got to do in life, and unless I'm eating it, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. And I told her straight up, I'm like, listen, you gotta, figure out shit with guys, figure out what you want. And a lot of times, she would really be depressed, all the time, I'm down. My parents died, they're dead, I got nobody, my kids don't listen to me, it was always negative for such a long time, and I told her to talk to somebody, find help, whatever, and I just wanted to text her and call her just so we're not two stupid Gen Zs just talking online, and we can actually have a good talk again, and she's telling me her ex cheated and all that, and she thinks I'm trying to blame her for that, and I'm like, I'm just telling you, you got to be more strict with these dudes, especially guys that you pick guys that'll appreciate you and all that, and I feel on some level there is a lot of drama in her life, and she brings it a lot of unnecessary shit, and I told her it's not worth it, but then she'll come down on me saying, "Oh, don't accuse me of this and that, and there's no drama here." I'm like, yeah, there's tons of drama, man. I mean, she even moved out of the city. I mean, you can't blame her. I mean, there's so many people since COVID have moved out of the city. I mean, yeah, Toronto's fucking insane with the rent and tariffs now, forget it. But I say this story because I really do wish her all the best. Maybe she'll listen to this one day, and I really do wish her all the best. I really do. And I wasn't trying to rekindle something or whatever. I to be honest with you, just it sounds weird, but I know you look at a guy like me and you think bullshit, but you learn growing up, man, it's just not all about looks. It's you gotta have some kind of chemistry, man. You gotta somehow get along. And also, too, she was very much into God, but it just, I don't know, man. Yeah. One of those, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not hating on that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It seems like you bring up God when you want to, and then other times you don't care, and it's just weird. I mean, long story short, we didn't work out as a couple. I can honestly say that. It's not I was trying to rekindle anything, but I really did care about her. I think she was pretty cool. I still wanted to be friends and all that, and she's still a nice person. So I do wish her all the best. But the reason why I bring up this story is because, yeah, sometimes like, you know, you bring up or you go through certain things in life with people, and yeah, they could last for years. I mean, I probably met her, God, it had to be like late 2000s, early 2010s, right? And then just recently I had this, recently a little blow up there, and, and I told her, I made a joke. I kind of made a joke, but I said, listen, the way you're acting towards me, it's not very Christian, and she thinks I'm always joking, and sometimes I am, and I can be serious, but at the same time, it just, I don't know, she wants to be happy when she wants. She, wants to be miserable when she wants. She beats to her own drum. I mean, chances are, I'm not saying she's going to be alone for the rest of her life, but I don't know, like she keeps up this path, I do worry in the sense that she will always find asshole after asshole. And I'm not saying I'm a fucking saint, but I'm not like these guys. I'm not fucking peeking in her window or fucking disrespecting her and, ignoring her and all that. And I don't know what to tell you. It does suck sometimes. So, again, another point I'm trying to say is, sometimes you talk to a girl online just for a little bit. In a few minutes, you never see her again, whatever. This girl, I was hoping I could be friends with her, after all this time, but it doesn't seem like she wants to. She wants to be just, alone with her own thoughts and whatever. And I do wish her all the best, salute. I hope she finds the guy that she deserves, because she is drop dead gorgeous. Honestly, she's a beautiful woman, and she's deep down a very nice person. But I feel she does, take advantage of from guys, and I don't know. It seems it's not I don't know. She doesn't have the best picking guys, just saying. So again, in life, ladies and gentlemen, find out what you really want. Like I said, I live my life by two philosophies. Do what makes you happy, and try not to hurt anyone. It used to be don't hurt anyone, but I mean, realistically, you are going to hurt people, even if you like it or not. Your happiness will affect other people too, maybe in a negative way, but try not to if you can, okay? In the end, I wanted to help this person. Some people you can't help. It is what it is. And it's not your fault. It's not their fault. It's just the way it is. It's where you got, people mesh. That's all it is. But I do wish her all the best. I really do. I'll even do a little prayer for her, because I'm Greek Orthodox. It's like, being, Christian, but I don't know, you have to stand more up and down in church. I don't know, you hear a bell, you have to stand up and sit down, and it's I don't know, it's a good little cardio workout, after all the souvlaki we ate. But the point is, just be happy in life and try to find out what, maybe it's something about you that attracts bad people. I'm not saying just her in general. I'm just saying people in general. And that's, a lot of times this is why people go online, because we're just sick and tired of going out and facing people. Now we're at home and we get to just face people. Well, not even face people. We call it FaceTime, but it's not. It's just, it's screen time. Okay? In many ways, it's not so real time. But at the same time, eventually you will have to meet these people and, yeah, find out if you really want to be with this person, or, does this person really make you happy, or are you just bored and you just don't want to be alone, but you really want to sacrifice, your loneliness just to, hey, I'm not lonely, but I'm miserable. Is it worth it? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this would have been a good part to use for the 50th anniversary episode, but sorry to disappoint my 3 listeners, but it is what it is. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting, thrilling, stupendous episode of, actually, sorry, now I think about it, yeah, at one point she said she really was into John Candy, like that type of look. I'm like, perfect. And then like 2 days later, she goes, well, I'm really into Trey Songz. And ladies and gentlemen, Google a picture of John Candy. Then Google a picture of Trey Songz. You tell me if you have not seen two people that are the most opposite looking of each other. I mean, literally, everything from race to weight. The real question is, would she want Trey Songz today? That's who knows. But the point is, this has been another episode of Computer Love, Part 49.
Hey guys, Species is on cable.
Yes! Yes! Yes!